So, I just want to explore a little bit about how I'm showing up here. And so, I'm here to work on my professional demeanor and my professional communication. And that said, I'm showing up real casual. And my reasoning for that is that I'm thinking if I force myself to show up interview ready, dressed up to a standard I um, that I think would meet, I guess, that sort of requirement, then I might just not do it. You know, I mean, obviously, like already, I'm like, wow, this is not going well. But this is how I'm doing this. I'm telling myself, like, okay, just show up. Like, I I think that I can communicate my ideas, my professional ideas, in a written form, quite well. But I'll find myself, um, trying to tell them to other people, and I think I get really jumbled, and I just don't communicate them as concisely and clearly as I'd like to. And so I want to work on that. And I think I'm treating this like it's sort of as if I have like a study buddy who is maybe also working on like a professional project or, starting a business or something like that. And I'm just like chit chatting with them about, my project. So this is a business plan that I made, and I am going through it. Um, I think like one step at a time. I'm thinking that um, I'll go section by section and just sort of be talking about that process and my thoughts on it, just as if I was like in a study group and the people there didn't mind listening to me blab. So, yeah, I'm titling and sort of labeling these just like chit chat type things where I'm showing up and I am just showing up. I'm not prepared. I mean, all that I thought is I just want to talk about, this topic. I wanted to talk about, and I guess sort of like, I don't know if I should say like justify, showing up, like, yeah, without like a lot of preparation. I'm wearing like sweatpants with like my feet kicked up. Like, is that real professional? And I'm like, well, you're here working on professional development. You're explaining what you're doing. Um, and it is. And I'm really throughout this process, like working with myself on finding a way to, do these things without holding myself up where I'll be like, oh, it's just not good enough. I'm going to refine it more and more. Like everything just has to be perfect. And, I'll be like, I know I can do it, but I just have to put in more. And I'll be, afraid that like, what if I show people my plan, which like, for example, um, I sent this to one of my friends before I had it printed. And yeah, her response was that like, business plans are supposed to be, 30 to 50 pages, which like fair enough, I did like parse it down. But at the same time, I also said it's not a business plan, which it's like it is and it isn't. I'm trying to, expand a bunch on a business plan, but have this like encompass a business plan. I think this is like getting me to where I'm like struggling to communicate the idea, and I want to, get better at that. And yeah, I mean, a point I was trying to make here is like, so I, sent that to her before I had this actually printed. And, I sent it to like Lulu, this like publishing thing that can make your stuff into a book. And it was only, I think it was less than $7 to do this, which I think is really cool. But I I just like told myself that you have to get this to just a certain state that I like defined. Um, and then you can call it version 1.0, your draft 1.0, and print it. And what I did was, I guess the origin of wanting to make a document like this is that with a startup that I'm doing, uh, like a I guess I'm just working with a startup who's, pre-launch, and I keep finding myself being like, how do we define, what this business really is? Because in that instance, there's a big change with business classification if they change their service offering. So I'm like, what is it? Um, how do you define this? And what are the service offerings? Like, what do you do? And then also just like, how do you do it? Because those things just aren't documented. And it's just sort of like waffling back and forth on like, oh, I want to, uh, do this or that with it. Um, as far as like the service offerings goes. So, anyways, I told myself like answer those three questions, as like concretely as you can. And then I also gave myself a framework where I wrote down a list of all the things that I want to address, like the market, who would I be targeting market wise, my own service offerings, like core values and philosophies. And I did like, I don't know if I should say like revenue map. How did I define that? Revenue. There's like legal classifications. I had something for accounting. But anyways, I just like addressed all the big things that I wanted to address. So yeah, for right now, I'm just showing up, and it's a little rough, but I'm working on it, and I think this is a really good practice. So I'm glad that I'm doing it, even though it's not the easiest thing. Like at different times I've practiced, saying things in the mirror, and I think that's a really good practice. And I know you can like joke about it, what there's the like really funny SNL skit on it. But I'm like, it is a really good practice, and I think this is really me doing that, but it's on I guess a different level, since you can just see more of yourself, and see I guess my expressions and things that I wouldn't see when I'm not directly looking at myself. I mean, it's just totally different. So yeah, I was trying to think of like, oh, is it something I should like clarify in every video, I guess, like something like, I'm here to work on my professional demeanor and communication. But like that said, I'm not showing up interview ready. I'm not showing up prepared. I'm showing up as if I'm with, a study buddy who's also working on this sort of thing. And I don't know. On one hand, I'll think like, yeah, it would be nice to clarify that. But on the other hand, I'll think like, I don't know, like, does it really matter, Because luckily, my goal isn't to be a YouTuber. So, yeah, I guess I'm like, hey, you don't need to spend too much time on like how you would hook somebody else. Because assuming this study buddy friend, uh, they would already probably know the context and know me. And I'm like, if it ever, comes up, I guess I could do one of those like pinned videos being like, this is what I'm doing, so that's why or something. So, yeah, I guess this meets my threshold for today. Uh, yeah.